unfortunately, because the Giants are now 0-2. And they're not only 0-2, but they're 0-2 in the worst possible way. They're very disappointing. They've been up 10 points in both games in the fourth quarter and managed to lose. So that's a huge problem. I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to start on Eli because I think the quarterback's the one that gets paid the most money, and he's the one that should be held accountable for a team not working on offense, a team that's just been a huge disappointment. First thing I want to bring up is Eli making mental mistakes. Now, over his career, he's been known to, he throws interceptions. He can make dumb mistakes, but I think this year it's been really glaring to me. One, with the run play at Dallas, not running the ball and throwing it instead. And then last week, taking dumb penalties down the stretch. I mean, he came out of a timeout in the fourth quarter last week, and he gets a delay of game penalty. I mean, that's rookie quarterback stuff. That can't happen. There's just no excuse for that, no place for that. I mean, you're hearing stuff about him being this elite quarterback. Apparently he considers himself has voiced that he thinks he's an elite quarterback, and right now he's just showing all the signs of one of the worst quarterbacks in the league right now. So, Mike, as a Giants fan, die hard, just like me, what can Eli do to fix himself? What does he need to do?
He needs to start coming more mentally prepared. It just seems like it's a shorter week now, aren't they? They're already playing tomorrow against the Redskins, huh?
Yep, Thursday night. They got no time to fool around. I hope they've been working hard in practice.
Definitely comes pretty quick, but they're probably getting their last bit of prep in about now. But I don't know. Eli's got to be, if you're going to be a captain of a National Football League team, you need to not only prepare for your game plan of how you're going to attack the game, but you need to get your guys fired up. How could Eli not be excited? You have Odell Beckham Jr. You have the Madden 16 cover Odell. He's spectacular, don't get me wrong, but you need to start using your weapons, and it's got to happen quick because everyone's getting sick of it. And it also can't just be about Odell. They need to start getting everyone involved. They need the offense to start clicking, or the season is going to go down the tubes too quick.
And I was just about to say that. The offense is relying way too much on Odell. I mean, obviously not having Victor Cruz hurts. He's out again this week. I just got a notification about it. But the Giants have to figure it out. I mean, the offense did look a little better last week. I'll give them the credit. But they're up 20-10 in the fourth quarter, and they're ready to punch it in again, and they turn the ball over. I mean, that just can't happen. Finishing games is the big thing with the Giants. When they're doing well, when they won those 2 Super Bowls, and when they've been a successful team, it's because they're good in the fourth quarter. And I know a lot of scrutiny is coming on Tom Coughlin for this, and rightfully so. The head coach deserves to. With the job comes the pressure, comes the expectations. He has to answer the questions. But I know Tom Coughlin, a veteran coach like that, he stresses finishing games. And he said it in an interview this week after the game. He said, I don't know what else we can do in practice. We work on finishing games, finishing the fourth quarter. He's like, I tell these guys when we're up in the first 3 quarters that the first 3 quarters, yeah, you win the quarter. But the fourth quarter is when you got to bring it. The game's not over in the third quarter.
Absolutely not. Even just scanning through an article here, Odell Beckham saying that they need to keep attacking and talking about that. I don't know. He said a quote here, just a simple quote, saying it's not 15, 35, 45, 50 minutes. It's a 60-minute game of regulation, and it's a grind. It's a football game. You got the offensive versus the defensive line. There's a lot of aspects, and it's a team effort. As soon as they make that roster, you got to be ready and mentally prepared week in and week out to win football games.
No, and I completely agree. And the best teams play well in the fourth quarter. I think this week the Giants have a team that they can beat that's not any better talent than them. First of all, the NFC East looks absolutely terrible. I mean, the Cowboys are 2-0. The Giants could easily be 2-0, just as easily as they are 0-2. They could be 2-0, but the Cowboys are 2-0, and they got Tony Romo's out, Des Bryant's out. You got a banged up Jason Witten. Both of his ankles are sprained. He's gonna end up playing this week, but obviously not be 100%. But just the NFC East looks terrible, and it's thank God, because the Giants still have a chance. I mean, I was looking at the Giants' schedule. It's not crazy difficult this year. I mean, you have the Patriots on there, you have the Bills on there, but it's not crazy difficult. They can if they it's not too late to put it together. Is it time to hit the panic button? Yes, but it's not time to call it quits and call the dogs off. I think they still have plenty of time to rebound. But like I said, Eli has to stop making mental mistakes. They need to beat teams in all 4 quarters. You can't be up 20-10 in the 4th quarter and lose the game. Any way, shape, or form, that's never going to be acceptable in the NFL. I mean, would you agree with me? I think that with all the great quarterbacks in the NFL, any one of them you say, you give them a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter, and they're going to win the game. They think they can win the game. So I think Eli, like I said, he thinks he's elite. Let's see it. Let's see it this week. Let's see a absolute demolition of the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, I honestly don't even want this game to be remotely close, but you never know. Even if the Giants get out to another lead, and we got to hold this down, but it's just getting tedious. It's only been 2 weeks.
No. It's honestly, it's what being a Giants fan is like. They build you up, then they underachieve. They, just when you think, they got it figured out, we're beating the Cowboys. The defense actually looks good. We thought the defense was going to be an issue. And then the 10-point lead, below the 10-point lead. It's stuff that can't happen. And what do you think about Tom Coughlin? I mean, obviously, he has a great relationship with the New York Giants. A lot of people think he should have been fired 2 years ago after the bad season. They kept him around, gave him a second chance. Even after last year, they said, no, we're going to give you this chance this year to come back. Would the Giants let him go in the middle of the season?
If any year it is, if these first 2 games are any indication, I don't even think there's a question in my mind that something can be done. It's been talked about for years, and I mean the Giants, respectably, and they won in 07, that 07-08 year, and 2011, 2012 that season. So, I mean, 2 Super Bowls in that is respectable, but I'd rather see a little more consistency. Like Coughlin, it's just, I don't know. Maybe they just need something new brewing in there. I mean, I don't know about you, but
I mean, I think that as a Giants fan, you're going into Washington to a team that's been amidst controversy after controversy. The head coach and RG3 don't get along. That's been a huge problem. You got Kirk Cousins at quarterback. He's a bottom 20% quarterback in the NFL. He's not a good. They don't have. I mean, Alfred Morris. Okay, whatever. The defense is nothing special. Can we put all this to bed aside? Can Eli come out and have a big game? I mean, I think it might be good that he's on the field so quick. He's back on the field Thursday. Can forget about that loss last week. Get back to playing and just could we just absolutely demolish the Redskins?
Yeah, I hope so. And he's gonna need some help from the running game aspect, I think, too, just to change it up a little bit. In the first 2 games, he's already had 76 pass attempts. And he's just, it seems like, I mean, that's throwing the ball a pretty good amount, but we need some rushing, like, to throw them off their toes a little bit. But we just can't keep running these same plays and just seeing these terrible mistakes. It's grueling.
I know. I mean, like any good offense does, the run sets up the pass. I think that's got to be established. But I think I want to do quick predictions about the game. I want you to give yours first. But I think the Giants need to take care of business. I mean, I just saw DeMarco Murray pulled out of practice today with a hamstring tear. So the NFC East is dropping like flies. They're trying to give the benefit of the doubt to the Giants. So could we please, for once, I think all Giants fans, I'm speaking for all of us, could we please just take advantage of an opportunity and get a job done. So, before we move on to the Jets, I want to give a little quick prediction now. Have you thought, what are you thinking, Mike, for this week? I better hear what I want to hear.
I mean, every Giants fan wants to hear these predictions. So, all right, I'm gonna go with a solid 4 touchdowns. No field goals are being kicked here. We're going to straight 28 points for the Giants and 17 for the Skins.
All right, I'm gonna say the Giants win this game 35-10.
Wow, I was thinking about throwing that number 10 out there, but
35-10. I think Eli's gonna have a big game.
Yeah, that's definitely a big game.
Yep, Eli's gonna have a big game. We're gonna get back into a groove. I'm gonna be able to be sane again and be able to talk about the Giants with people and not be embarrassed. I think we're gonna get back on a roll. When we come back, we're gonna talk a little New York Jets. 2-0 New York Jets, pretty impressive. The defenses looked phenomenal. So when we come back, talk a little New York Jets.
But I need this, yeah, I need this. You're my fault, my weakness. When did you turn so cold?